Hi everyone, today we're going to look into a component of English First Language 1111, which is informal letter writing narrative element. So this question will be a component of paper 2. Yeah, so before we start looking into informal letter writing with narrative element itself, first of all, let's look into the component of English paper 2 itself. At this point, we already know that both of our papers, basically paper 1 and also paper 2, they're divided into section A and also section B. Yeah, so for paper 2, which is a fiction paper, our component for today's video, which is informal letter writing narrative, this belongs to section B, which is a writing question. So we tend to get descriptive writing, we tend to get narrative writing, we can get informal letter writing, we can get all these questions for our section B. What we're looking at specifically today is merging informal letter writing with narrative writing, which is narrative element in the informal letter writing itself. Okay, so we're going to look into how to tackle this question, how to answer informal letter writing by including narrative element. Okay, now first of all, we need to understand the requirement of the question. We need to know that although they are asking us to write an informal letter, they are specifically there is a specific requirement that we need to include narrative element. Okay, we also need to understand that the essay is written for exam purpose. We are not writing a story just for someone else to read. We are writing for the examiner to read. So we must pay attention to the language used. We must make sure that although the language is slightly informal as compared to paper 1, which is a more formal language, but we still need to make sure that the spelling and the way we write, there is still certain structure to it. Okay, next part, write according to the required format. As we already know, we are writing informal letter writing, so there is a specific format that we need to follow, which is with the salutation, the contact part, and also the signing off part. Okay, that's the required format that we look into, and stick to the word limit here would mean when we write for paper 2, the word limit would be between 300 to 350. So we do not want to write anything less than that, when we also do not want to overwrite, so we need to adhere to the word limit given. Now, how to incorporate narrative writing? We need to write according to the informal letter format, but we need to be sure to include narrative elements in our informal letter writing to get marks, because otherwise the content will be based on narrative, but the format will be based on informal letter. If we fail to include narrative elements in our informal letter writing, then in this specific question, we're going to lose our content mark. Yeah, so make sure to include the plot elements such as exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution in our informal letter writing, written in that specific format itself. So type of question that you can get for such for this particular component sometimes can be write informal letter to your friend narrating about an incident that happened, narrating about a difficult experience that you have gone through, let's say. So you are writing an informal letter, but in the informal letter you're going to include narration. Basically, you're going to tell a story. So this is where we include our narrative element, and we get marks both for format and also for content. Okay, that's about it for informal letter writing with narrative elements for paper 2. Thank you.